His vice presidency took him to many countries and friendly people, not merely as the representative symbol of his nation, but as one of those universal men from whom the world draws the guidelines of a good life. Wherever he went, he spoke as a friend and philosopher of freedom and peace and well-being.
I have no doubt that the African peoples will very soon attain self-government. If that doesn't happen, it will be a terrific loss both to the authorities and to the African people. My hope and my prayer is that these things be settled, not through violent upheavals, but by peaceful constitutional processes.
Out in West Germany, an international peace prize was given to him, setting the seal on a voyage of friendship. Back home, the nation's highest honor, the Bharat Ratna. And the 1960s got underway. The beginnings of the development decade witnessed a new bid for takeoff by India. In Algeria, years of strife ended in a peaceful settlement. Kenya was moving towards independence. Man burst through into space in search of a millennial dream. In India in 1962, history's biggest general elections got underway, the third since independence. In New Delhi, a new government headed by Jawaharlal Nehru was sworn in. And a new president, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, professor, philosopher, servant of the people.
May I say in all humility that I shall endeavor to do my best to deserve in some modest measure the great faith of my people and devote the few years left to me to their service.
Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, President of the Indian Union, vested with executive powers to carry out the will of the people of India. A look inside Rashtrapati Bhavan on any morning reveals the simplicity of the man and his single-minded application to duty and service. A host of things to attend to, many appointments waiting for presidential sanction, acts of government to be approved. As President of India, Dr. Radhakrishnan receives distinguished visitors. No mere formality, but an essential part of fostering India's good relations with other nations. And, in search of peace and friendship, he sets out to visit many parts of the world.
Peace is in the hearts of all men of goodwill, We need peace within and without to solve our problems. If the values of civilization are to endure, we must come to terms with our close neighbors and work for world fellowship. If deep uneasiness disturbs us when we look out on the world, it only shows that a great change must come. We are trembling on its verge. Whether it is a leap forward to unmeasured prosperity or a plunge backward to barbarism depends on us, on what we make of the spectacular achievements of science and technology. We have enough material explosives which can put an end to life on Earth. Let us work for just and peaceful settlements wherever possible, and non-proliferation of nuclear weapons as an essential preliminary for complete disarmament.
Something more than a temporal head, something more than even a representative of his people, always a world citizen, whether in Asia or Africa, the USA or the USSR, promoting peace, narrowing down differences on behalf of life and the future. From hemisphere to hemisphere, placing the point of view of developing countries and the international situation as his country sees it.
The President is a noted philosopher. When I commented on the weather this morning, he said we cannot always control events, but we can always control our attitude towards events. This is only the beginning, I'm sure, Mr. President, of a good deal of wisdom which we will derive from your visit, so that I know that I speak on behalf of all of my countrymen in welcoming the distinguished President of a great country to the shores of the United States. Mr. President.
Mr. President, I thank you for your very kind words, and I am glad to be here accepting your invitation. It gives me an opportunity to meet you, Mrs. Kennedy, the leaders of your government and your people. We greet in you, Mr. President, an understanding and sympathetic friend, aware of the efforts we are making to build a liberal democracy in our country at a time when in many parts of the world the fabric of democracy is crumbling down. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your kind speech.
A philosopher's journey, the Americans hailed a wise and Catholic mind, calling all the world to match its tremendous scientific advances with a reawakening of the spirit. The great question of our time, the overriding issue of survival. Speaking to the United Nations, President Radhakrishnan said,
The highest concept is world community. It is that kind of world community to which we have to attach ourselves. It is unfortunate that we are still the victims of concepts which are outmoded, which are outdated, so to say. We are living in a new world, and in a new world, new type of men is necessary. And unless we are able to change our minds, to change our hearts, it will not be possible for us to survive in this world. The challenge that is open to us is it survival or annihilation?
Back home, the cares of high office. The wide-ranging presidential duties include the opening of Parliament. He delivers the presidential address outlining policies and plans for the present and the future.
I, Indira Gandhi,
Do solemnly affirm
The leader of the majority party in Parliament is invited to form a government.
and allegiance
to the Constitution of India
to the Constitution of India
as by law established,
as by law established,
that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India
that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India
Prime Minister for the Union,
as the Prime Minister for the Union.
On the advice of the Prime Minister, the President appoints a Council of Ministers.
I do solemnly affirm that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal as a Minister for the Union
On several occasions, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan is at home.
The baby getting on board? Why, here or there? At home. At home? Why, in Bombay or here? Delhi. Indeed. I saw Mr. Musa. I know. I saw Mr. Musa. I saw him, I remember. September 1st, already day. Yeah, after some time we have to sit down. I pay my homage to your Lord. Thank you. Srimati Indira Gandhi is there.
As President, Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan is the Supreme Commander of India's armed forces, encouraging men and officers, defining their role in a free democracy.